I like that.
Thank you for
Same.
tuning in
I definitely think it
this
helps.
You need me to say it
time
again?
on
Say it one more
Disrupt
time.
No, life
and
does not get
Discuss
easier.
podcast.
You get stronger.
Life
No.
does not get easier. You get stronger. I do.
Welcome to Disrupt and Discuss with your hosts, E and KayCee. A Boucher Ventures production brought to you by Just E TV and My Herba by the Fitness Collective. Now, without any further ado, disrupt and discuss.
Hey everyone, how's everybody doing?
Doing great.
Welcome back to Disrupt and Discuss. I think I sound like what do you call that? Announcer for a fight. That's how I feel right now. I am E,
And I am KayCee.
and together we are what?
D and D.
All right, let's go. You guys, we have another one for you.
Yeah.
I am the series creator. If you don't already know, KayCee is the interview bringer extraordinaire, and I am the series person. I like to bring the series. And so we have another series, you guys. We have another one for you. We are going to be dealing with the nervous system. The title is called Calm Your Chaos, the Nervous System. We're going to go into systems. I went down this rabbit hole thinking about the different systems in our body. We're going to start this series off with the nervous system. So, KayCee.
Yes. Oh, I'm going to talk about the nervous system. Or I'm going to talk about the eyeballs.
It comes to me. I may be reading something or watching something, and something will pop into my head. And since I have a tablet,
Okay.
I was like, what does that mean? How many of them do we have? I go down this rabbit hole. Now, that's how we came with the nervous system. That's what we got.
That's how you came with the nervous system.
Yeah,
It wasn't we.
I came with the nervous system. Yes, I did it. I will agree. I admit it was me. Have you ever, KayCee, felt like your body was talking in Morse code? Do you ever feel like that?
You're going to have to help me out here. I'm not quite sure what you mean, but okay.
Heart's racing, your eye may be twitching, flipping out. What do I wear? Things like that.
Oh, okay. Like when I said my foot is itching today.
Yes, that part.
I'm like, I know when the hand
part.
is itching, you're getting some money. I got nothing.
You know what I said, but she said, no, that ain't what it means.
Medical issue. Really?
It's a medical issue. But yes, that's the nervous system hollering at you. I did not know that. We learn. You guys will learn too. That's what it is. It's exhaustion. I'm exhausted. That's your nervous system talking to you.
Kind of like with the left eye twitching and all this kind of stuff.
Yep.
Talking about, I thought it was coffee. No, it was stress.
That's your nervous system.
What they say, I'm picking up what you're putting down. I just dated myself. But
it happens every once in a while.
But yeah, E is older, but that's okay.
That's what she keeps trying to tell y'all.
So aside from the pit of hell,
let her roll with it.
Thank you.
Your nervous system is the body's electrical wiring message from your brain, from what I've come to understand, down to your body up to hundreds of miles. It goes hundreds of miles an hour. So it's a signal.
Okay, kind of racing down the highway kind of thing.
Yes.
All right. It's interesting the way you put it like that. Okay.
That's what I thought when I was reading it. And I was like, okay, it makes sense. And as we go more into it, I think you guys, it'll make more sense to you as well. You'll probably be like, aha, that's why this happens. It's like Wi-Fi. And it's like the strong signal, good, weak. Everything starts buffering. So that's what it is. It's buffering.
Okay. So kind of like how most of us might live with a bad reception, tune in, but can't.
You can't. Exactly. It's being blocked. You have no bars.
Ooh, you know what? I thought for a minute you were going to say you have no balls, but okay. I get it. I was like, what?
You're like, what the nervous system got to do with that?
Really? No. Anyway, I'm sorry. Get back on task.
They say around 80 to 85% of doctors' visits are linked to stress. That's kind of crazy.
Well, okay. So then I guess half the time you're walking in for stress because that's a symptom of what is actually going on. And so you go in and then at some point they just treat the symptom and not really getting to the root of it.
Correct. Like we were talking about for menopause.
Right. And
sleep stress, they give you a pill for symptoms.
Well, right. So for example, I noticed the other day I had a lot of headaches. I could have taken some Tylenol or Excedrin, but actually when I was taking that, it really wasn't working. It was taking
Mhm.
the edge off, but it was a dull pain, and
Right.
that was the symptom, but the actual problem was my body, because I didn't drink coffee that particular day, and that
Ah,
was the root of it. So,
okay.
again, in correlation with stress, I'm going into the doctor for one thing, not really getting down to the root of it, or you
Right.
can't sleep because you might have your cortisol might have been out of whack,
Mhm.
or you have some other issues and you're not sleeping. So instead of getting to the doctors don't have that much time to sit and chat with you anyway,
Right.
but instead of getting to the heart of what's really going on, they prescribe you some sleep aid.
Correct. Or if your
Yeah,
stomach's hurting, they prescribe you something for your stomach being upset. Or if your back is hurting, something for it's always they're prescribing for the symptom. That
correct.
is the joys and the wonders of modern day Western medicine, you guys.
Quick fix. 2 words, quick fix.
Yeah. We have to learn how to be our own first responders. We have to learn how to read our own bodies. You have
Yeah.
to learn how to listen to your body. And in listening to your body, it will tell you what you need. It'll tell
Mhm.
you what's wrong instead of running to the doctor and be like, "Oh, this hurts." It helps to listen to yourself and know yourself to where you'll know what's going on. So you're like, what did it say? Doctor, heal thyself.
Yes.
You're the first responder. So,
Yeah. Yeah. I'm thinking about what you're saying, and I'm trying to put it to how it goes within my life,
mhm,
and it's one of those things that your body is trying to protect you. There are certain times when you get in your car
mhm,
and you turn on the radio, you turn on the news or whatever. But every so often, what we'll do is just drive without any noise, because you need to hear, is there that weird little pang
right,
noise that you didn't hear before because you turn on the radio and you're talking on the phone, you're doing everything. So it's similar. You got
right.
to listen to your car, and your body is your car to get you to where you need to be. So sometimes you just need to be still, be quiet, and actually listen.
Absolutely. And that's also with regards to the body. And again, we talk about so much stuff and it's funny how all this stuff correlates.
Mhm.
But
Comes full
it
circle.
and it's pretty much telling you everything we're saying. It may sound like we're repeating ourselves, but really it is what you need to do in order to know yourself. When you are dealing with stress or a dangerous situation, your body feels like it's running from a lion, right? It doesn't
Mhm.
know that your car stopped, like you were saying, your car may have stopped in the middle of the
Uh-huh.
street. You stress out. So your body doesn't understand that you just stressing over your car may have stopped in the middle of the street. It may think all it knows is that you gave it this jolt of I'm anxious. Something happened terrible. So it doesn't know the difference between your car stopping in the middle of the street or you're running from a lion. It's just a flood of chemicals that go in to your nervous system. And that's how it responds. How you keep yourself calm. That's why people say you need to calm yourself or keep yourself calm because your body doesn't know what's going on. It doesn't see what's happening. It's just going off your reaction. And that's
Mhm.
how the chemicals flood into your system, that nervous system.
Right, because that's like fight or flight. So that's protecting you
Yes.
for
Thank you.
sure.
Thank you.
Mhm. No
See, that's
problem.
why she here. That's
I
you know,
bring a
the
full
words don't
circle.
hey, these words don't be coming out like it's supposed to.
That's okay. I forget something in mid-sentence, so it's
Right.
alright. It's alright. But no, it's similar kinda, and again, what I'm equating it to, back when I would be at my desk, come in the morning, and you look at all these emails. I haven't even read an email yet, but from the time I left until I came
Yes.
in, all these emails, my heart's racing. I'm like, "Oh, geez." And we didn't even talk about the one that has the little flame next to it.
Or the little exclamation point.
You click on it and it goes back to the person, so they know that now you've opened it.
Opened it. Yep.
So then on my side, I'm thinking, "Okay, is this person gonna call me now that they know that I'm reading this email?"
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah, you're not in the jungle running from the lion, but you really are in the jungle running from the lion. It's just a different type of
Lion.
stress.
Yep.
And I'd only been there, like, maybe 45 minutes, and my heart is just, "Oh god. Oh god."
And that is so true. It really is. That's why you need to learn how to self-regulate. When people say you need to calm down, like my husband always say, you need to calm down. You need to
Mhm.
calm down. And I am the one that I go from 1 to 10 real quick. And he's look, I need you to dial it back to 3. Let's talk this through.
We know the feeling. If I can't find something, I swear somebody stole my shit. I'm like,
Right.
"Who? What? Oh, okay, it's right here."
Exactly. You false alarm. Then
My
you
kids are
calm
like,
back down.
Mom, don't nobody want your stuff.
Right.
What?"
And that's case in point. She looking for something, somebody stole it. But her body is, we running from a lion. We running from a
Yeah,
lion.
now Imma whoop somebody's ass.
Okay. And then it calms back down.
Never mind.
All of that causes
Y
problems with the nervous system, right?
Yeah, okay, I get you, I get you, I get you.
Exactly. And then people who are like that all the time and they don't know how to self-regulate, right? That's
Well,
when medicine comes into play and they medicate themselves because they don't know how to tone it down. Everything is 5 alarm fire.
Yeah, depending on the job that, and again, I'm relating it to work
Right.
stuff. I remember when I was assistant to one of the directors. My job was to not only take care of the duties that I had, but I had to think 5 and 12 steps
Correct.
ahead of this director. So you are in fight or flight mode constantly because you have to second guess what they want, or you're working on a project for them, but then you still have your usual duties that you have to do. And then when you come home, you got to calm it down. But then now you're getting ready for the next day.
And then that could be okay. Would you say this? Would that be your and some other folks how they handle things? But there are some people now. I know this one executive assistant. She had the CEO, the CTO, and the founder that she was responsible for. But when I tell you, she had them people wrapped underneath her, and she was cool as a fan. Some people can handle it, and some people can't. Some people have that capacity to deal with it because if I would be you. I would probably be extremely white haired.
When you say you're talking about me?
Not
Oh,
you being white haired. Meaning, my hair would
I
turn
got a
white.
couple here.
Right.
Yeah, no, but I know what you mean.
I wouldn't be able to handle it. I could do that job, but I wouldn't be able to do it the way she does it. I would be on 10 all the time. I wouldn't know
Right.
how to regulate myself. Some people know how to work within that, but a lot of people do not. The people who do not, but have those types of jobs, you find they on some type of medication.
Hmm.
They're medicating themselves. And that's what I was trying to get to. Some folks, and it's a lot of folks that deal with this, like I said, 80 to 85% deal with stress. Sometimes that's why I was saying awareness needs to be your medicine. We have to learn how to self regulate, self assess,
Hmm.
calm the hell down, stop being so tense. Okay, I got a headache. Why do I have a headache? Like you said, oh, I didn't drink my coffee today. Why am I so stressed out? Why am I upset about this? Oh, because my menstrual is coming. Things like that. People may be like, what? No, seriously. Sometimes people go on 10. I was one of them. And it would be a week or two before my menstrual. And I would get super emotional. I
Yep,
would
I did
stress
too. I
out,
did too. Yep,
right?
yep.
Everything would piss me the hell off. Things that wouldn't bother me before, now it's hitting me. It took me years to figure out my menstrual is about to come. I'm super
Yeah,
emotional. I don't know why. Everything is pissing me
yeah.
the heck off.
I mean, I was emotional, but it was like if I say, for example, I passed you in the hallway and you had 55 other things on your mind, and I'm like, hey, and you're like, hey, I'm thinking, well, did I piss her off at some point? Did I do
Right.
something? I'm not going to go to you. I'm just going to sit here and obsess on it. And
Yep.
then later on, I'll figure out, oh, that's why. However, I wouldn't share that with everybody or anybody because last thing I want to hear is somebody tell me, is it your period? I'm ready to whoop your ass then.
Right.
Probably would have been yes, but I'm not. No, what? Why
Exactly.
would you do that?
But that's what we're talking about, being self-aware. You wouldn't know that unless you calm down. You actually try to self-assess yourself. Why do
Right.
I go through stuff like this? Some people
Mhm.
be in denial and blame everybody else, and they won't do a self-assessment test. I'm saying we need to be self-aware. That's why we're talking about the nervous system. Self-assess. So let's break this down plain and simple. Your body stays flooded with cortisol, stress juice, and that rewires your brain. Anxiety, panic, insomnia, and even depression. Your brain starts treating
Mhm.
peace like danger because it's used to chaos. That's what
Oh,
happens when you when you never turn it off. If you're not turning it off, it turns on you.
exactly. I mean, your heart is working overtime. Then you've
Yep.
got your digestion that shuts down. Some people eat more and others do not. When the cortisol is going, I'm stressed, I can't eat. I could be starving, but
Right.
mentally, the mind body connection is not there. The immune system gets weak. You're more susceptible to colds and
Yep.
flus. And
Yep.
even working out, you can hurt yourself because you're not focused.
Exactly. You can. It's a lot that goes on. How can I say it? Between the economy, layoffs, shooting, bills, folks are scared they won't make it. You won't talk about that, but you know what I'm talking about. The fear sits in your body. That's why long-term stress is linked to heart disease, it's linked to
Hmm.
diabetes, the autoimmune stuff. The body literally forgets to rest.
It does. It does. A lot of people focus a lot on soldiers. And again, for all of you out there, thank you for your service. But it's not just soldiers, it's everyday people. Just like you had said, now with what's going on with the government, there's people that aren't getting their checks. I today actually was on Instagram, and one guy was showing people how to make meals on a minimal budget. We're talking beans and franks with some other stuff cut up in there.
Oh, he went old
And
school.
well, yeah, seriously, because some people aren't getting paid. And then you're getting paid maybe half of what you were making, but you still need to live.
Yep, you still gotta live.
So when you got, like I said, when my main thing when I was doing the 9 to 5, I had kids to feed. I had them in school. I had all this stuff, and that's a stressor. So now you're adding this on. So you're going to have a lot more stress coming on with a lot of
Absolutely.
people.
Just to tag on to that, because like you said, you see people on TikTok, you see people on Instagram, you see them talking about Christmas, Thanksgiving is coming. They
Ugh,
may not
that's
get
a
their
stressor.
checks. They may not be able to get the money that they utilize to buy food. And
Yep.
you see people spazzing out literally on the clip. You see them like, ah, that is your nervous system right there in real time. They have PTSD. They're scared, they're fearful, they don't know what's going to happen from day to day. Their
Yep.
normal has been interrupted and they are going crazy. That, in a nutshell, is what we're talking about. That's your nervous system right there in your face. That's what you feel,
Mm-hmm.
what they're doing is all affecting the nervous system. That was a great, thank you for leading into that because that just
No,
popped into
you're
my
quite
head.
welcome.
That is the nervous system at play. Their nervous system is all out of whack right now. The way they're screaming at the camera, the nervous system is like they're running from a lion. They're running from a tiger. They're running from something.
But no, she and I were in the car the other day, and we're driving along and coming to the stop sign, a stop light, I should say. And there's another car to the right of me, and it was a little further back, and it started gaining momentum. And I said, "Ooh, they're not going to stop." And sure enough, they didn't. And went through the light and almost was T-boned. I mean, I'm sitting there, oh my God. My stress was up.
Was it your car or someone else's car?
No, someone else's car, but we
Okay,
were
but you
at the
saw it.
light. We saw it literally
Right.
getting ready to happen.
Oh, wow. That is
Yeah.
crazy.
That was a different kind of stress because when you're driving for so many years, you know instinctively different things. And out here where we live, I think it's like the Wild West when it comes to people driving. They choose not to wait for the light, regardless if there's oncoming traffic or not. They're still going to go. But then I know that car that was running the light, the person got really scared because, of course, here I go. I meet them at the next corner. When it was their turn to make a left, you would have thought it was an old lady driving. They were just so slow. I'm like, you got to go home and check your shorts. That's what happened.
Like, oh, shoot. I just almost crashed my car.
And I wouldn't have seen nothing.
He's like, I don't know. Mm-mm.
I had somewhere to be. I was on a timeline.
She's like,
So I'm
don't
just
ask
glad I
me
didn't have
nothing.
to choose.
Because you were like, oh, I got to go.
There wouldn't have been a choice.
KayCee would have been like, I ain't seen nothing.
Mind you, I have a big old camera right there in my car. Yeah, I do.
Oh, Lord. Why am I not? I shouldn't even be surprised about that.
Why?
Says the woman who backs in everywhere and looks at the front door every time wherever she sits. So yeah, I'm not surprised.
Somebody's got to do it.
But with that, like KayCee said, that situation, we were just explaining about people not being able to eat. Neighborhoods are like right now, low income neighborhoods are pretty much in survival mode or about to be in survival mode if something doesn't change. So what does a person do to find rest?
I defer a lot to social media. It depends on who's teaching it. Now that we were talking about it, it really is a serious thing. You open up to IG and you definitely have somebody showing you some sort of thing to do, whether it be breathing, deep, slow belly breaths. That's the cheapest therapy on earth, breathing. As I say, you got to take a beat, but it literally tells your brain that it's safe now. It might not be, but at least you're telling it to calm down. The going word now is what? Take a beat. So
I haven't heard that.
take a beat. Yeah. So take a beat. Let your heart rest. Take a rest. Take a breath. Take a beat. I've heard it on different TV shows and different people say it. It's not uncommon to hear that. Now that I've told you, you're going to hear it.
Right. Now that you said something. That's true. I'm subscribed to deep breaths. I subscribe to grounding and all that stuff.
Yes.
And it definitely helps.
When you're saying grounding, what is that? So you're talking about walking around barefoot. What does that do? Because I don't really do that.
They call it grounding. You can call it grounding or you can call it earthing. Essentially, it is your body regulating itself, believe it or not, through your feet. Like they have pressure and they go on your feet. Same thing when you're walking on the earth. If you're walking in sand, if you're walking in the grass, your body, your feet is connecting to the earth, and
Okay.
it's calming, it's self-regulating, and it's calming itself down. It's getting cues from the earth, and it self-regulates you. I know it sounds strange, but if you try it, it's the most peaceful thing you can do. It's just one of those things, even sitting in the grass. You don't have to stand up and put your feet in the grass if you want to just sit or lay on the grass. I know that's challenging
No,
for some people.
but stuff you did as a kid.
Correct.
That's
Yes.
the thing.
Yes. I talked about that before. People who play with their kids, literally just play with your kids. If your kids are skipping, skip. If your kids are jumping, doing jumping jacks, do it. Hopscotch. You don't know how it makes your body not only youthful, tired, because you ain't did it in a minute,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
but it takes your body back. These are things that we all needed that a lot of kids nowadays that struggle, like when you
You're
pick
talking
up,
about plyometrics?
is it plyometrics? I can't
I
remember.
think of plyometrics, isn't that usually when you're the whole jumping, like trying to jump on the box?
Yeah, the trampoline, stuff like that. But
Yeah.
not only that, like when you used to play throw
Jacks.
the jacks out and you bounce the ball, pick up.
Yep.
These are all skills that taught you how to maneuver. But a lot of kids don't know how to, even chopsticks. A lot of people don't understand that those are mind to hand functions that helps your body. Like, say all that to say the earthing and the grounding helps your body remember, and it puts it at ease. It calms it down. And so it definitely
Okay.
helps you get back in touch with yourself and self-regulate. Not only that, when you're in your car, like KayCee was saying, sometimes people can only have peace in their car. Sometimes a house is not peaceful. Your car is a peaceful place. That's the only place for solitude. It ain't at work. It ain't in your house. Sometimes it's just being in your car. So if you're in your car, just inhale, exhale. If you have a radio, turn on
That's
frequencies and vibrations. Have you heard the
yeah.
frequency sounds? You've gone to it. I haven't gone to it, but I listen to it a lot on YouTube.
Oh, what, sound bath?
Sound baths.
Mhm.
Put on some sound baths just in your car. You will be surprised how it helps you regulate yourself.
It does, because I know when I used to do that long commute back in the day, I would sometimes listen to classical music.
Classical
And
music as well.
that really did it, because you're sitting in traffic. Neo soul too. Sometimes I would just really need to have classical, because it was just something, again, you're
Classical
talking
really rewires your brain.
it does. And again, just like you said with the frequencies, it really helped.
And those who feel that that's a little bit too much for them, or that's just too out there for them, throw on your gospel music. You just throw on your music. Whatever makes you feel at peace, put that on. I'm just telling you, I listen to a gambit of things, but I have found that the sound therapy, classical music, jazz,
And oddly
vibrations,
enough,
frequencies, I love that.
audiobooks,
Yes.
that would do it too, because you're so enthralled in the storyline and what's going on. I would get home quicker than I had anticipated, and I was like, shit, because I wanted to hear the other part. Now,
Yep.
I still got the hell out the car, and I just have to wait till tomorrow, but it did help.
It's basically taking your mind off of that other thing. You want to transition in a way.
It does. It helps you detach from what went on at work, so now you completely decompress, and now you're okay, so when you walk through the door.
Right. Exactly. That's what you do, y'all. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, peace. Exhale, stupid. Inhale, peace. Exhale, stupid.
Okay. Never heard that before, but
There you go. What about magnesium?
what about it?
Does it help? Calming voice. What about
I
it?
know people that use it. I wasn't that versed with it in the beginning, but now more and more I hear people using it, and some take it before they get ready to go to sleep. It helps them go to sleep.
Yep. It calms you. Glycinate. It's magnesium glycinate. I mean,
Yes,
I'm not
yes,
mistaken. The
uh-huh.
glycinate. Because there's
Yep.
different types of magnesiums for different things. That's a whole topic within itself. But magnesium glycinate is the one
Uh-huh.
that calms you.
Yep, it helps.
And also spinach, almonds, dark chocolate. The nervous system loves those minerals. If you have a problem and you need some help, maybe take some magnesium, maybe eat some almonds, take on some dark chocolate.
So basically, you're gonna eat dinner. Have a
Pretty much.
spinach salad with almonds and dark chocolate for
Right,
supper.
there you go. Couple of drops of magnesium before you go to bed.
That beats a glass of wine, I guess, huh?
Well, I don't know. It might.
Hey, I'm
It
just
might.
asking the questions,
All
man.
right.
That's all I'm doing.
Some people are like, bump that. I want the wine. I want the
Man.
wine.
Good Chardonnay.
What about movement?
Walking, stretching, grounding, what you said, earthing. That's another.
Earthing.
And I know some people, they do dancing, whether it be, what was that popular one that everybody was doing?
Zumba.
Zumba. People would be lined up for those classes. So yeah, That gets the energy out for sure.
It definitely
It
does.
will. Although I did try Zumba, it wasn't my thing. Everybody was having fun. I'm coordinated, but not coordinated, if that makes any sense. So just like those other dances that everybody would do, and you're standing in the whole lines and you're doing all that, you're turning left, I'm turning right. And I couldn't, no.
So you more of
So,
a solo dancer. You got to do your own thing.
I thought you said something else. I was like, what? Yeah. And not that I've got real big moves that Michael or who anybody else would want from me. But yeah, that whole line dancing kind of thing, Zumba, yeah, it didn't work for me.
Some people are not into, or they don't do well with choreographed stuff. Yeah, it's the choreographed thing.
Because I'm the person that finally learns the dance moves and they're no longer doing them.
Yeah, KayCee, you late like that?
Yeah, I didn't see, because really I didn't go out much until I got into college. And then when I went out, you're on the dance floor and it's crowded anyway. So it's not like I needed to bust a move. You're basically going side to side or whatever. So you practice all those dances at home and you finally get them. Then you go out and it's, oh, I don't need this anyway. But then you still want to do it because you practiced it.
I wasn't one of those. I was the choreographed kid. I used to be in a dance group. I used to do dance competitions. I could do the choreographed stuff.
No.
I used to make up dance moves. So yeah.
Now, I was a cheerleader back in the day. And for those in the Bay Area, the Oakland Dynamites, that was the only team back then. You learned a routine and did it for the entire season. Yeah, I finally got it.
See, you do have a little bit in you. Just a little
bit. I got a little, but see, what I really do, I always do my shoulders. I'm that kind of person.
I'm thinking about Ashley, because she said that too. She do the shoulder thing.
I'm in the car, going places. They're like, Mama doing that shoulder thing again.
Oh my God. I got to see that. That's going to remind me. I need to see that. So movement brings energy. Just so you know, if you get nothing else, movement gives you energy, positive energy. Right?
Yes. And also what we hadn't talked about yet is you can add music to it as well. Rhythm heals. And again, it falls under the same heading as sound bath and all of those kind of things, but just singing, humming, doing praise and worship, whatever gets that vibration going. And because the whole thing with singing, back when I was younger and my grandmother would be cooking, when she's cleaning, she's cooking, she would be in that and she starts to hum. She's humming, then she's singing. At that point, you didn't bother her because you know she has transcended somewhere else. Exactly. If she's cooking, singing, and humming, the food was going to be jamming. The food was going to be on. So nobody wanted to bother grandma when she was in the kitchen.
Okay. It was made with love.
Yeah.
I can relate to that because that's how I clean and that's how I cook. So especially on the holidays when I have to cook big meals, I will have my glass of wine or the bottle.
You got to have that.
Okay. And then I will have music going. That's just my thing. And so once I'm in that zone, I'm happy. I'm just doing my thing. Time just goes by. I don't trip off of it. I'm enjoying myself. So I can definitely relate to that. What about, now we're going to talk about my infamous sunlight. I love that sunlight and that sunbathing.
So when I got to ask, because you do mention it from time to time, sunbathing. You go out into your backyard? Where do you?
I usually go to that park.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yep, that park. I usually take my yoga mat. I will lay it out right in the middle, usually where I can get good sun. Sometimes those benches with the table and the benches, sometimes I do it over there too. I'll lay my mat on that bench and get that first sun. That's how I relax. Get out there and I just lay out. I try to have most of my important areas showing, like my stomach. So I usually have on a sports bra and shorts so you can get my legs and my stomach area. And so I'll do like 10 to 15 minutes laying on my back. And then I'll turn over and do 10 to 15 minutes on my stomach and make sure that my back and the back of my legs get it.
Oh, yeah, because we never really talked about that. I know you mention it, and I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I don't do that, but.
Yeah, I would love to do it in my backyard, but my backyard ain't looking like nothing right now. We ain't got no grass. If we get some grass, that's where I will be earthing and sunbathing once it gets done. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But 10 minutes of that in the first morning definitely helps you. You want to get that first sunlight. That helps. It helps set your mood. I know people are probably like, it don't take all that, but until you do it and experience it, try it for a week or so and let us know how you feel. You will feel a difference.
Oh yeah. If I start doing something, I might not be able to tell It's when I stop doing it is when I can tell the difference. It's weird how that is, but I can always tell when I haven't done this. Ooh, something's
Different.
yes. So, but then also for me, water too. Keeping
Yes.
yourself hydrated really makes a big difference as well. That can also contribute to the headaches that I was having. But I know damn well it was coffee because once I had some coffee, it stopped. But sometimes when you get dehydrated, that'll be a downer as well. Hydration keeps the electrical current flowing. Lack of a better word, you just do it like that.
Absolutely. Just so you guys know about the sunlight, it changes your mood because the body does not produce vitamin D. You get it from the sun. Your body needs that vitamin D and it will change your mood and hormones. Bringing that first sunlight into your body is that vitamin D that we all need, even though they tell you swab yourself down with sunblock and sunscreen. Don't do it at first light.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why a lot of us are vitamin D deficient. Like KayCee said, it helps change your mood for sure. And
It
the
does.
hydration definitely helps change your mood. What do you feel about water as opposed to watermelon juice or coconut water?
I happen to be drinking right now. Okay.
See, there you go. What do you feel about that? Because what did someone say? Water is just, what is it?
Water just is going in and out.
Yeah.
And you can still be dehydrated. If I needed to be hydrated, I put a little bit of either Celtic salt or pink
Yes.
Himalayan salt, just a little bit, because that helps to absorb into your organs. One time my husband was at his checkup and the nurse was saying that, oh, you're a little dehydrated. And he goes, you know how much water I drink a day? And she goes, yeah, it's going in and it's going out. It's not going to your organs. So
Correct.
that's where it needs to go to.
So that's why you have to drink watermelon water, coconut water, put some Celtic salt,
Celtic
salt,
or
Himalayan sea salt.
Yep.
Things like that. That's those minerals that your body needs. And what did we say earlier? Your nervous system loves minerals.
Yes.
Put you some Celtic sea salt in there. And you won't have to buy Gatorade. That ain't nothing but Gatorade.
You know where that's from, right? It
No.
originated Florida.
Oh, the Gators? Florida Gators? Really?
Gatorade. It was something that they did for them, I guess, on the football team. I don't have the exact, but that's what half of my family's from. All of my family's basically Florida. They still live there.
Okay. No, I did not know that. That's a fun fact.
Yeah.
Gatorade. I love it. So we got the grounding, we got the water, we got the sunlight, your bare feet and stuff. How can I say this?
Oh boy.
I wanted to share something with you guys. When I was researching all of this with regards to the nervous system, I honed in on how a lot of times during the pandemic, I was experiencing a lot of restlessness. It was hard for me to sleep. It was hard for me to function. I felt fearful a lot. I felt scared a lot, but it wasn't for anything that I was doing. It was something that I was dealing with. A lot of people don't know. I don't really talk about it much, but my mother was diagnosed with Alzheimer's and later dementia. During that time frame is when all this stuff started happening. When you have a parent, a very stubborn person that still thought they had all their faculties and was still in control of their life, and they weren't, you still had to make sure that they were all right, right?
Yeah.
It can get to you. And it got to me because that person didn't really want to listen. They still wanted to be on their own. And I was still trying to allow her to be on her own, even though she clearly couldn't. It was getting worse and worse. And so, how I tried to adapt and deal with it was I would give her like Apple tags to put on her. I would put them on her arm, on a bracelet, on her necklace, in her purse, anything that I thought I could keep track of her, or I think that she would lose somewhere where I could track it. And that helped for a little bit. But to go home to my house and knowing that she was at her place and she was living by herself, it was hard for me to sleep. You know,
Yeah.
I was nervous. I was sleeping extremely light because I was like, I might get a call. Somebody gonna call me. She out in the street. We done found your mama, right? She's walking down the street or through the apartment complex. She lived in an enclosed senior apartment living. Luckily, most of the people knew her out there. That was the blessing of it all. But still, I'm sleeping light because I don't know what's going to happen. And every
Yeah.
time I
You're
would
waiting
try
for that
to,
shoe to drop.
I'm waiting for the shoe to drop. And so that was my reading this. I was like, damn, my nervous system was on 10 during that time frame because I had no peace at all. And that's not how anybody should live, But I can imagine there is a lot of people that are living like that. And it could be your child, it can be your parent. But to have that happen is just, when I was doing the research on this, it helped me understand what I was going through. Cause I was like, am I going crazy? Am I, it
Yeah.
was just a lot for me to process. And I'm just now able to talk about it, really, because I was pretty much keeping it all to myself. My husband and my close family members, that was a lot for one person to have to deal with. Not only her, I was dealing with my grandmother as well. My grandmother didn't have dementia, but I had to be responsible for these two folks. And it was a lot for me to process. It was a lot for me
Yeah.
to deal with on a day to day. My body felt flight or flight all the time because I was not peaceful at all. My nerves were all over the place.
Damn. Well, I mean, it's almost like you're in that constant of what if. So if
Yes.
A, then B, subset of C. You always have to have a plan. I have an older parent as well who's in a senior living independent, but she is dependent on me for certain
Yep.
things.
Yep.
So, yeah, it gets to be a bit much. That old saying, what is it? Once an adult, twice a child.
Yes.
So now I'm taking the role of being parent to my parent.
Yep.
So that's why we have her in a facility. She still has her independence. However, there's somebody there to watch her should something happen.
Right.
And I don't have the same situation as you do, but when I see the phone ringing and I see the place where she lives across my phone,
Yep.
I'm like, oh shit.
Yep.
They're never calling you if everything is
If
good.
everything is good. Right. It is. It's those moments. And I tip my hat to people. Never did I ever think that by the time I got this age, that would be something that I would be dealing with. You just never know. So, I said all that to say, for those of you guys who deal with things like, that's what your body is going through. And so you have to learn how to step back and self-regulate yourself. If you keep your body in that constant cycle, it's going to back up on you. It will
Oh,
back
it
up on
would. And the other thing that we hadn't talked about, when you no longer have to do that,
you. Right.
that's another thing. And I bring that up because my mother-in-law's mother just passed about a month ago. She was 102.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And she was in a facility. My mother-in-law would have to go see her almost daily because it was just the two of them. At 100 and something years old, the family is pretty much small. So she had to adapt to going to see her all the time, talking to doctors, doing this, doing that. And then when she passed away, it was like, now I don't have to do that anymore. But now, how do I regain my own life now
Yep.
that I don't have this other person to care for or go see every day? Now, she and I hadn't talked about that, but it's pretty obvious. You go
Mhm.
from having to do this, and then all of a sudden, you no longer have to do it. The service is over, so you don't have to think about it. But you didn't have to think about it then because you were getting the service together. Now, service is gone. You're cleaning out the area where she lived. So now, what do you do? So
Yep.
that's another trauma in itself.
Absolutely, especially when you've been dealing with it for years.
Yeah,
Because then that becomes your identity almost.
it
That's
does.
who you are. And that's the same as mothers. When they raise all their children, they all leave the nest
And they don't come back.
and they don't come.
I don't know all that yet, but
Right. But some people, they find it hard. What do I do now? I'm not a mom.
it was that way for me and my husband for a while, especially when they were in high school. They
Mhm.
had different set of friends. They were doing different things, and some were driving, some weren't. I'm talking about their friends, and then my kids started driving. So a lot of times it was just me and him home, and we're like, okay, now I see when they say, oh, the kids are going away, the kids are getting older, and then you see people getting divorced because your life was centered around the children, and now when the children are no longer that thing that keeps you guys together, or I say the double stuff in that Oreo that kept you
Right.
together, what do you do? It was one of those things where we started doing different things to get out of the routine of being home. We didn't have to cook dinner. Oh, I already got something to eat. What'd you eat? Well, mom, does it really matter? You know what? Really, it doesn't. So we got used to that. And then one moved out of state, one went away to college in a different state, and then we had no kids in the state. Then they came back a few years later, just long enough for us to get a whole routine down. And I started using my girls' bathroom. That was my area. My husband had his area.
Right.
Now we're both crammed in the same bathroom. I got shit everywhere. You have to get used to it. There's constant change. One of the things, and I don't know who the person was that did this quote, but it makes so much sense. It's like life doesn't get easier, you just
Mhm.
get stronger. And
I like that.
it's so true.
Say that one more time for the people in the back.
For the people in the back row,
For the people in the back.
life does not get easier, you get stronger.
I do believe that. I do believe that because you're always going to be challenged. Sometimes you actually need it because if you're not challenged in something, you get your life
Complacent.
is much.
Yeah.
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 There's nothing to look forward to. There's nothing to challenge your intellect or make you do something that maybe you're uncomfortable with. So I like that saying. I definitely think it
Did
helps.
you need me to say it again?
Say it
No.
one more time.
No, life does not get easier. You get stronger.
Life
Yeah.
does not get easier. You get stronger. I do subscribe to that. What about this? One last thing though, because we talked
Okay.
about the stresses of it all with regards to fear and all that, but we didn't talk about that signal to your nervous system sometimes comes in the form of love.
What do you mean?
Love.
Like you want to run away from it? You don't understand it?
You can, or your body thinks it's like when you love someone, you can love someone so
Yeah,
hard
no,
that you can't stand it.
I'm jiggling your balls here. I'm
You
just trying to get you to talk. No,
Did you
with
say jiggling out there? Oh Lord. Whew, Elizabeth. That was funny as hell.
okay.
And scene.
I think if one feels more than the other, that's anxiety right there.
Mm-hmm.
Being in a relationship and you don't want to show your vulnerability, that's a trauma there. I knew what you was talking about.
Yes.
But yeah, I know when I first met my husband, my parents were married like 20 something years and they got divorced. That's all I knew. So I got anxiety, even though I cared a lot for my husband. I loved him, but I was still apprehensive because of what I had seen growing up. It wasn't so traumatic, but it was enough to where I was like, do I even want to really do this?
Correct.
Obviously, it's been 30 something years, so I did do it.
Right. You did it. You took the lead. You took the lead.
There
You
was anxiety.
last.
Well, one of the things we did do was we did live together for a year. I know my grandmother would be turning in a grave. Don't do it. Why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free?
Okay.
For all you young folks, look it up. But I seriously believe that's something that should be done because you really don't know somebody until you live with them. And I would have a work week. I knew I was going to go to my boyfriend's house on Friday and I'll stay to maybe Sunday and I'll go back to work. But you don't see that Tuesday night when the boss pissed you off. You might talk about it on the phone, but it's more when you're seeing somebody or when I'm in a bad mood. At that point, make plans before you do that. And I still had anxiety.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that. I think when grandma was in her age range, that's what she did, right? But
Yep.
grandma also went straight to marriage, having babies, and the man was taking care of her. Was she out working?
Mine was.
She
I mean,
was?
come on, let's be real for a hot second. A lot of Black women, that wasn't a luxury
It
for
wasn't.
us. All the people I've known ancestrally wise, I know that's not a word, but they all worked. After a while, one retired, and then there was the breadwinner, if you want to look at it like that. My grandmother, that I speak a lot of right now, was a school teacher. She taught school out in Florida when she moved. And actually, it's interesting, they moved, and here I go off on my subjects, but she needed to have an operation. My grandfather, they were married, but he was in the military. She was not willing to move to California where he was because she was still trying to become a teacher. She still had her student teaching and all that kind of stuff to do. So therefore, she stayed in Florida, but she needed an operation. And back then, all the hospitals were segregated. And because of that, he told her, I don't want you dying on the table or be an experiment.
Right.
So she moved out to California and then continued her studies and had to get recertified because she was coming from another state. She worked. My father's mother, who was a domestic, but let me go back for a second. Well, my grandmother, while she was in school to be a teacher, she was a domestic also. She could only afford to go to school in the summer. She worked during the year to save up her money to take classes at Florida A&M. It took her a long time, but she was always working. My other grandmother was a domestic, but she worked at the UC Berkeley campus. So
Okay.
she got to meet a lot of international students and a lot of other students. That's where she
Okay.
was. It was never a question of being able to be home.
Okay. My grandmother was. So she
No, just blew that
was.
shit right out the
Yeah,
water. But
yeah. My great grandmother, she was a domestic
Uh-huh.
because that was in the 1800s when she was coming along in the 1800s.
Okay.
Because my grandmother that's still alive, she was born in 1921.
Okay.
So she was a young girl. She worked. Both of them did not go to college, did not receive formal educations. I think my great grandmother made it to ninth grade. My grandmother only made it to sixth grade, but both
Mhm.
were avid readers. When my grandmother came to California, she was working when she met my grandfather. He came via the military. They all conjugated from that way to California
Yep.
via the military. That's how they met. But when she got with him and married him, he didn't want her to work. So she didn't work for a period of time because he made pretty good money. He was, what do you call it? Out here was working with steel. So he
Okay.
made good money. When they separated, got a divorce, she ended up going back to working. And that's how she
So
ended up working when she became single.
is that your grandmother?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's interesting because you don't hear about just in general divorce. Back then, you might have had a separate room because grandma's room was over here and papa's room was over there.
Right.
It is what it is. You didn't question it. Then when you get older and all the cousins are sitting around and going,
Yep.
grandma had a lock on her door.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's like,
Right.
wait a minute.
You didn't hear it, but my grandmother was different. When my grandfather remarried, they didn't divorce. They had separate bedrooms. You know, she was in that bedroom down the hall. He was in the main bedroom. They slept in separate rooms. Absolutely. My grandmother was a little bit different. So we said all that to say love can cause that nervous system to react just as much as trauma and fear. All of them live in the same car. You drive in the same car. That's your nervous system doesn't know the difference. The response in the body is the same. So it doesn't go by emotions. It doesn't go by, oh, this is trauma, or I'm in love, my heart has been broken, or I just got in a car accident, or I'm stressed out. It's all the same to the nervous system.
Right.
It doesn't know the difference. We said all that to say. We take the long route. It is what it is.
It was scenic. It was very scenic. At least it was for me.
So just so we can like recap and put a bow on it. So,
okay. For me, medicine is not always in a bottle. It's not a syrup and cough syrup. It's not capsule. It's in breath. It's in stretch, a sip of water. Getting back to basics.
Yep, I agree. And rest is resilience. Rest is definitely resilience. Stillness is survival.
Can I hear that again?
Rest is resilience. And stillness is survival. Yes. The body remembers everything. So give it better memories.
Man, that vanilla ice cream from Costco. Yeah, I'm sure the body remembered that.
It does remember though. That's some good ice cream. For sure. Breathe, move, hydrate, unplug, touch the earth, pray, meditate, affirmations. I'm throwing it all up in here because it all works.
Jesus, you throwing
gratitude.
Everything.
Okay? Your body listens to what you say and how you react. So if you want it to act different, you have to respond differently and say different things.
Right. It makes sense because if you're feeling foggy, you're not feeling. If you're feeling off, if you're off, and it's about recognizing. It's not about beating yourself up. God damn, why can't I get it together? Take a step back. What's going on?
Yep.
What's going on with you? It might be indirectly, but it's what's going on with you. You might need a reset. It's just asking your body for calm. That's what it is.
Peace is not a luxury. It's maintenance.
Yeah.
That's all it is. That's all it is. All right, y'all. We just put a bow on this. Hopefully you got something from this episode. We were talking about the nervous system.
And our grandmothers. So, hey, pick your choice.
Okay, pick it all. So hopefully you picked up something, you got a tidbit. Let us know in the comments if you got something from this episode. How do you regulate your nervous system? How do you keep things calm? Or if you don't, did you find something that you may want to try to self-regulate? You may say, hey, that's me. Hey, I'm off the hook sometimes. I don't know how to get it together. Hopefully one of these things can help you. Let us know if you decide to try one. We would love to hear from you guys. Comment, like, share, subscribe. We're talking about the systems this series. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Please let us know. Like I said, everybody, thank you guys so much. KayCee, do you have anything you want to leave us with?
Just breathe easy, drink water.
I love it. She said, breathe easy, drink water. Absolutely.
Or coconut water, whichever.
There you go. All right. Until the next one, you guys. What do we usually say? Bye.
Tiki Barber here. I remember those grueling practices, pushing through fatigue and striving for greatness. Well, that's the same dedication My Herba puts into their supplements. They understand the body's needs. My Herba takes a holistic approach to wellness. Whether it's their CMOS, immune defense, or even sleepy time, they have an option for you. Let My Herba make the best you with code BARBER10 for 10% off at thefitnesscollectif.com.